Hello everybody, welcome back to another adventure with Charlie's Adventures. Today we're going to start on doing the number 2 service on the Pioneer 520, and I'm going to adjust the valves. My rocker arms, or the valves, are getting loud, been like that for a little bit. So while I'm doing this second number 2 service, I'm going to go ahead and try to dig down in and adjust the valves. So we're going to start out. This might take me a couple evenings, or maybe even 2 or 3 evenings, I don't know. I'm just going to take my time and see what we can get done. First thing we're going to do is we're going to pull the seats out. You just pull that and down, and that'll get your seat out. And then on the bottom, you pull it up on each side here. I don't know if you can see this or not, but we're going to see what we can do and then pull it back. Okay, and as you can tell, I've got the trigger shield in this, and I had to trim right here. These, it's for the 500, but I had to trim this a little wider to make the trigger shield work in the 520. But it was very little trim work I had to do, but we're going to be taking it out right now to get down to what we're needing to get these plastics off to get down to the top of the motor. And as you can tell, I've got doors on the 520, and I didn't do a video on it, but I'm going to. I'm going to redo another set, and I'm going to make a video of that. But bear with me here a couple of minutes. Let me get a screwdriver and some pliers and stuff, and we'll start trying to pull this plastic off to get down to the head, where we can get to the change the oil and oil filter and get to the access to the valve adjustments. Okay, we're going to start out by pulling this pin, this pin, this pin, this one, this screw, this screw, this screw, this pin, and then these 2 pins on the side. There's going to be several pins that we take out. I don't know if you can see that or not, but we're going to give it a shot. And you have to take your ECM out as well. You just unclip it here. If you've already done an oil change, you know what's got to be done there. And I suggest, if you hadn't already, to go ahead and buy some extra of these push pins, because you're going to end up needing them after you take them out a few times. you'll end up needing some extras. I can't remember where I got some packs of like 10. I got 2 packs of 10, but I can't remember where I got them. But it's probably a good idea to go ahead and get you some extras. These centers pull out on me. I just put them back in. After you pull these out a few times, you know they get kind of wore. Probably can't see for that these seat belts. There was one of these on this very far side here. When I went to put it back in, I had a time getting it lined back up, but I finally got it. Okay, I think this is all of them. Well, there's a this cover right here. It's got some snaps in it, I think. Yep. You just pull those up, and there's a push pin up and under this cover that I just pulled loose. Okay, now this, there's one over here on the side right here. You got to take it out right there. Just checking to make sure I was still recording. Got to pull your seat belt out over here, and I just flip this thing up. I normally just flip it up like that, and back here in the back, this tripod's not working with me. You can squeeze this clip right here and pull the wiring harness through for the ECM. Might have to take a pair of pliers to squeeze it to get it to pull out. Okay. It's this hole right here, and see that? It holds the wiring harness in for the ECM. Now we can unplug our ECM. And I don't know for sure if it'll pull out without unplugging it or not. Don't think so. So we're just going to have to unplug it. Just push and pull. Push this lever down. Well, I made it sound easy, didn't I? There's one. Two. That one there just does not want to come loose, so I can, there we go, just take a flathead screwdriver and twist it a little. There's the ECM out. Now we can completely remove this cover. My goal today is to get down to the engine and to where I can see where you adjust the valves. That's my goal for today. Okay, at this point we've got that plastic cover off and this one, and you're starting to be able to see the motor. You can see there. Now we're trying to get right in here, and it's probably under this cover. We're going to have to take a few more plastic pieces off. So I'm going to set you back up here and see what we can find. Now this is the first time I've ever did this, so I'm kind of learning as I go. But I think it's pretty simple, really. Just got to take your time. Don't get in a hurry. And I hope you can see that. We've got a pin right here. I call them push pins, plastic rivet, whatever you want to call them. Just have to keep digging until we get to where we're going. Right here's one. And I can already tell this will be a perfect time to go ahead and spray off in the engine compartment here, because it's dirty. Now if you've got the Honda back window on, you're going to have to take these bottom loops loose. If you don't, you won't have to worry about this step. I've already got the bed popped up. So that has got the back window out of the way. Got two more push pins right here. And these are actually going into the frame. This crossbar. That one's in there. Didn't want to come out. Got it though. Okay, now let's see what we got here. Something on this other side. Oh yeah, there's a push pin back here in a hole head on this driver's side. And there we go, that's another one. Another one right here on the side. Looking under the seat. You just pretty much got to start taking stuff off till you get to where you're going. And be patient. I guess I'm a good one to be talking about being patient, but that's what we're talking about, being patient. Unplug this seat belt wire here. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to dig deeper. This piece here is going to have to come off. This is a different style pins than those other ones. They don't have a head. pulling that center out with a pick. Don't know if I've got it out far enough. Sorry about you all shaking and rocking. Yes. Can you see that? You just take a pick and pop this center up, and it's just like a regular push pin. It looks like there's 2 of these on the driver's side and maybe just one on the passenger side. I'm gonna go ahead, there's one right here and one over there. We'll go ahead and get those out. There's one right here. You see this intake tube? Then there's one holding this plastic piece right here, right behind this tube here. Just thought I'd show y'all that. It's kind of hidden. There we go. Keep those separate because they got to go back in that cover. They're like a flush mount. Now let's see what we got to do to get this cover off. That right there. Alright, there's that cover off. This right here is going to have to come off. I'm just not sure how to get it off. It's at least got to move up or something. There we go. Now this has all these wires attached to it. As you can see right there. Right here, that's where you're going to remove that plug to adjust your exhaust. And then this one back here, you're going to do to adjust your intake. So I'm to the point that I can adjust my valves now. I'm just going to have to get a tie strap and hold this cover up. Oh, look here, I got a bolt going right here. Look at that. This roll bar, when you go in ruts, it squeaks and goes on, flexes a lot. And I've got a bolt going, so I'm going to have to get a bolt and I don't know if it's got a nut on the back side or not. Yes, it does. I'm gonna have to get a bolt and a nut for that right there. Well, I'm glad I just noticed that. But anyway, we should be able to hold this up and get to the exhaust, and then should be able to get to the intake no problem. Your oil filter is right here. You remove this little cover right here. There's 3 bolts. This cover right here. I hope you can see that. Your oil filter's there. And right here is your oil fill and your dipstick, and right here is where you adjust your clutch if you want to make an adjustment on your clutch. But I'm going to pick all these push pins up and put them in a box and stuff, and before I even start, I'm going to wrap a Ziploc bag and some tape around those plugs. Put them in a Ziploc bag and close them out to where water won't get down inside those plugs for the ECM, and get it as watertight as I can get it. And then I'm going to spray off all this in here, and then I'm going to call it a day for this evening. And like I said, I'm not trying, because I got to go to work in the morning. I get up at 3:30, so there's just no sense in going plumb crazy with it. No hurry, but I would like to get it done. So anyway, I'll get back with you tomorrow evening after I get this washed up and cleaned up in here. And I got to pick all this stuff up and put it up or I won't lose it. And then I'll get back with y'all tomorrow evening, or whichever evening I get to be able to do this, continue. And we'll go from there. All right, we'll see you tomorrow the next day, but it'll just be a few seconds for you all. All right, we're back the next day, and what I've done yesterday evening, I sprayed as much dirt off around here as I could, and cleaned around where the valves are. As you can tell, I've got these caps off, and right here is your rocker arm. This is where you're going to adjust. Hear that? I think they're loose, but what I've done is I jacked the back end of the side-by-side up, got the rear wheels up off the ground. I turned the key off, and I got that wrench out from under the seat right here, and I kept pulling it back to me to the driver's side and kept spinning the wheel until I finally worked into 5th gear. I'm in high gear with the key off. Don't try it with the key on. You'll do what I did and mash your finger, because it automatically tries to shift back to 2nd. And you want to do this with the key off. Then I've took the spark plug out and put a straw down in the cylinder. You can see right there, just the spark plug out. I put this straw down in the cylinder and I bent it sideways to where it wouldn't fall down in. And I turned the back tire until I got on a compression stroke. And the way you can tell is this intake rocker. When you see it go down and back up, that means the next stroke is going to be a compression stroke. So when the piston's going down and this valve opens, it's pulling fuel in. So the next time it comes up, it's a compression stroke. So after this valve opened and the piston went down, when I brought it back up, I just kept easing it and easing it and easing it until the piston didn't move up anymore. So because they had me at top dead center. I hope that makes sense to you. But right now I'm going to start adjusting the valve lash. And, I'm going to try to get this camera situated somewhere to where you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully right here. And I'm sorry about these camera angles and stuff, but I'm doing the best I can. Alright, I'm going to get some wrenches together and I'll be right back. Alright, now what I'm going to do, 10 millimeter, I'm going to break these nuts loose on the adjusters for the socket. We'll just do them one at a time. Alright. And I've got this cover up here tied up with a bungee cord. I don't know if y'all saw that or not. Okay, the spec on these is 6 thousandths intake, 9 thousandths exhaust. This is the exhaust. So I've got my filler gauge here. Now you all can do what you want. I'm setting mine at 5 1/8. And I'm going to, I don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm going to screw this adjuster down until my filler gauge, I can feel resistance. Almost need a third hand here. You can tell I bent my filler gauge before it go in here. Just take your time and don't get in a hurry, you know, just, it's okay, you ain't gotta, you know, get excited or whatever. It's a little too snug. Back it off a little. And what you want to feel is just a little resistance. Okay, I'm feeling resistance right there. And like I said, this is 8 thousandths. So now what I'm going to do, while I hold the adjuster snug with my screwdriver, I'm going to snug this jam nut down. And this could be easier said than done. Hold that adjuster with your screwdriver still. And, I don't know, I think I'm going to have to you want to turn your nut to where it's down and against that already without turning the adjuster screw. Let's see if I can get a turn. Yep, I got a little bit of a turn that time. Flipped my wrench and got another turn. See if I can go a little more. This is tight quarters right here, folks, with all these brackets and stuff. Now that I've got it snugged down a little bit, I'm going to put my ratchet wrench down on there. And I don't know if I'll be able to get a click out of it or not. We're going to find out right here. Nope. They definitely did not make this easy. I'm going to try this. I know where the adjuster screw is, the slot in it. I'm going to try to snug it with my socket. I don't think it moved. No, it didn't. You don't want to over tighten these. Now, I'm going back with my filler gauge. Wow, must have loosened that, unless I've got the wrong one. Now I'm going to have to loosen it up and snug it some more because it's too loose. You may have to do this 3 or 4 or 5 times. We were right there. We'll turn it about there. Now I've got it too tight. Okay, I loosened it up. Now I'm working my filler gauge in there, and you can feel it dragging. I'm going to call that good. Okay, far as I'm concerned, the exhaust is done. You're going to want to make sure this surface right here is clean. You're going to check your O-ring around that. It looks good. And you want a little bit of coat of oil on it, which it's already got. It takes a 24mm socket to get those off. And they're not that tight. That's good. Alright. You want to go to the rear and we'll do the intake. Okay, we're around back to the intake side. Now they call for 6 and 9, but I'm going 5 and 8. Alright, we've already got the 8 done, so I can put it back in my filler gauge pack. It is a little loose, so I'm going to start by breaking this little jam nut for the rocker arm, breaking it loose. And now I'm going to try to I know you can't see this. This is very awkward, trying to lay up under here. I've got the bed up, I guess you could tell that. don't know if you all can hear that or not, but I've got it where I'm feeling a little resistance. Okay, while I'm holding this adjuster screw, then attempt to tighten this jam nut without moving the screwdriver. Okay, I've got it pretty well tight, and I can see where it's at. So I'm going to try to finish it off with this socket. I know you all are going to say, oh God, but as long as that adjustment bolt don't move when you snug it down like that, it's fine. The main thing is you retry your filler gauge after you tighten it. And there it is. I don't know if y'all can hear that. It's pretty good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put this cover on, and I'm going to go find my new spark plug, go ahead and put it in while I'm at it, and then we'll go back to putting this thing back together. Okay, ever since now that I've got the valve set, I'm going to try to show you how I got the top dead center. First of all, like I said, key off. Take the key out of the ignition and put your wrench on down here by the drive shaft that manually shifts it and pull it back to you till it clicks. Go back there and roll the tire back and forth a little bit. Have the rear tires up off the ground. Keep doing that until you count it go into 5th gear, and then leave that alone. Once you get into 5th gear, then you're going to want, well, I already put that plug in. I just wanted to show you how to do it, and that way it'll maybe eliminate a little confusion. Just making sure the camera was working. There for a minute I didn't think it was recording. hard to do this working around the camera too. Alright, now with the back wheels off of the ground, jacked up, and it in 5th gear. I want you to watch this rocker arm right here. It's going to go down. I'm rolling the rear tires. See that rocker? Alright, it came back up. Now watch the straw. Piston's on the way up to compression stroke. And you're going to have to hold on to that straw and roll the rear tire at the same time. Already went too far. So I'm going to have to go down past. Okay. Now the rocker arm's going down, the intake. It's on the intake stroke. Okay, now. Now the piston's on the way back up. So you're going to hold this straw. And right there is top dead center. I felt the piston stop coming up. And then both rocker arms will be loose. That's top dead center. I just wanted to show you how to do that. Now a lot of people want to pull the battery box and all that and take the plug out and do it, and if you want to do it that way, that's fine, but I'm pretty sure this way right here will work too. Just wanted to show you all how I did it, and I'm hoping that it's be okay, and we're getting ready to find out here in a few minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put the new plug in. I bought a maintenance kit off of I think it was Amazon or eBay. It was a whole complete kit: air filter, spark plug, oil filter, oil, differential oil, everything. And it was all genuine Honda parts. Alright, I've got that cover back on. Put a little bit of anti-seize on the spark plug. I'm going to put it down in here and get it started. I've already gapped it. It was actually already gapped, but I did check it. These valve rocker arm access covers, whatever you want to call them, plug, or it takes a 24mm to get them out. Access covers for your valves. part plugs in. Now where I've got that cover tied up, I'm gonna have to let it down for the plug wire to fit. Yeah, I'll show you how I did that too. I just took a bungee cord, put it around right here and around the roll bar and right here to hold that up out of the way so I could adjust the valve. Now we should be able to get the plug wire back on. There it went, snapped on. All right. Now I'm going to make sure everything's alright here, and I'm probably going to start it up and let it run to make sure everything's alright. I've got the ECM plugged in over there, but yeah, first things are first. We'll have to got to get it back in neutral before we turn the key on, because I turned the key off in neutral. We don't want to screw the computer up into thinking it's in a different gear or whatever. You know, that's the reason you want to do all this with the key off. So now what I'm going to do, I don't know if you all can see that. Not, but I'm going to push it away from me. Heard it click. I'm going to push it away from me again. May not be able to get it back into neutral this way. That would suck. I don't know what to do happen if you turn the key on, but I'm going to try it because I cannot gear it down manually for whatever reason. Alright, it was showing it's in 5th gear, so you just can't gear it up with the key on because it automatically goes back to 2nd gear. Did you hear it? It went to 2nd gear. So now I can remove this wrench. Now we're in neutral, so that's a good deal. When you go to 5th gear to do the top dead center, you have to have the key off and pull the manual shifter, roll the back tire, pull the manual shifter, pull the back tire until you do it 5 times. You'll hear it click into gear. Alright, well, I'm going to see what I got to do here to start it up to make sure everything's alright before we put all these covers back on. Alright, best I can tell, everything's okay. I've got the ECM plugged in. Everything's out of the way. Nothing's going to get caught up in anything. Shouldn't be any external moving parts. So we're going to Fire it up. Oh yeah, it sounds good. Good back here too. Alright, great deal. So I'm going to let it run for a little bit and warm up, and then I'm going to drain the oil